Warning, the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR Show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., as featured on Wrestling8.com and TNA Insider, Lee Sanders.
It is with great honor and respect that we welcome our next guest at this time, who really does not need an introduction, but we're going to give him one anyway. You all may be familiar with his extensive body of work from over the years. If you are a true wrestling fan, who could not forget about his time with Marty Jannetty as the Rockers, to when he began flying solo as Sensational Sherry was his manager, or how about when he had got the services of Kevin Nash, aka Diesel, as his bodyguard, to when he formed the original D-Generation X with best friend Triple H, Chyna, and the late ravishing Rick Rude. Hey, when it comes to WrestleMania matches, nobody delivers such as he always left fans in awe over the 5-star quality type of matches he delivered, which dubbed him the name Mr. WrestleMania. You know, there's actually a DVD titled that about him that came out not too long ago. He currently is the host of Shawn Michaels Macmillan River Adventures. Check your local listings for date and time. He joins us today to talk about his new book, Wrestling for My Life. We'll let him give you the details on that. Please help us welcome to the RCWR Show for the very first time. It's the one and only WWE Hall of Famer, HBK, Shawn Michaels. Shawn, how's it going?
It is going very well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, without a doubt. No thank yous needed, as we really appreciate you taking the time out to do this for our respected listeners, your fans for sure. I'd like to begin by saying that in preparation for our chat here, we noticed it had been almost 10 years since you wrote Heartbreak and Triumph, the Shawn Michaels story. When did you begin to write Wrestling for My Life, and what was the inspiration behind it?
Well, it was something I started, I guess, a little over a year ago, and it was something I sort of wanted to do since my salvation. But I knew doing the other book was, at the time, something the WWE wanted me to do, and I knew that that would be certainly more wrestling focused, and so you want to give sort of justice to the really two big aspects of your life, which are your faith and your family, and that is something I just knew that I wasn't going to have the opportunity to do or the time to do until I was retired. And then so a couple of years after I retired, it was then beginning the process and then finding a publishing company like Zondervan that would give me the opportunity to do it, and then obviously taking the time to do it. And it's just for me, it's simply a guy that was given a second chance and really wanting to take the time and the opportunity to truly express the thankfulness that I have for that. And I just didn't feel like I really had that opportunity, understandably so, in the other book when that one was geared just towards more of the wrestling aspect of my career. And again, just wanted to express the thankfulness and the appreciation that I have for not only my career, but obviously the family that I've been given and the faith that I've had since 2002, and wanting to do all of that the justice I think it deserved.
Right on. Now, would you consider Wrestling for My Life a continuation from Heartbreak and Triumph, or is Wrestling for My Life more of a standalone piece?
Well, I think it's more of a standalone piece. Obviously, it continues and covers some of the things that were in Heartbreak and Triumph. But really, what I think it is, it's a look at my life and certainly my career is a big part of my life, my career in the wrestling business, that is, but through the lens of my faith. And the WWE and the wrestling business is so big and so grandiose that it has a tendency to sort of take the spotlight and the forefront of everything in one's life. Every conversation, sort of every aspect of your life is dwarfed because of the size and scope of the WWE, which again is a wonderful thing. But I wanted to have an opportunity to sort of give props, as they say, to what are actually the two biggest aspects of my life, and that's my faith and my family. And again, the not excluding my career, but looking at it again in the rearview mirror from a sense of being very thankful and an opportunity of having a second chance and a guy that appreciates that second chance.
With the advancement of technology in the past 10 years, being able to read your book has never been easier, be it print, mobile device, tablet, etc. Tell the fans why they should check out your new book. Break it down for them if you don't mind.
Well, again, I think it's an open and honest account of a guy's life, and I guess the thing is, even the few book signings that I've had the opportunity to do at this early stage of the release, a number of men, a number of folks just moved by the openness and the honesty, again of just being a guy that again doing his best and trying to improve on that every day. And sometimes I don't know, it helps when you're the first guy to raise your hand, the first guy to step forward, other folks step forward. And if you feel like you can be a better friend, a better dad, or a better husband, I think this is a book that'll help you take a step in that direction. And to your point, as far as the availability of it, I that's new for me, which I think is pretty neat. I've never had so many people ask me, is it on iBooks or eBooks or Kindle and audiobooks, and it's on all that. And I guess I've had a lot of moments in my life, fortunately so, that where I felt like I've made it, but I don't know that I've ever had anyone sort of as satisfying as knowing that something I did is available on Kindle. Or so, that somebody can just download it. So that's a pretty cool aspect of modern technology.
Yes, it's just really insane when you think about it. I know our time here is winding down. I only have a couple of more questions for you. Over the years, as far as your in-ring competition goes, you've left us such a great body of work that I'm sure will be viewed for generations to come. This question you may have answered in the past, but I want to try to take it in a different direction if possible. It's no secret that you and Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, are the best of friends. With that in mind, as far as wrestling one more match, if Paul were to say to you sometime in the near future he's going to retire and wants to have his last match with you on the grandest stage of them all, would you come out of retirement to do it?
Well, obviously, I think I'd consider it, but I guess I know my buddy well enough. I don't think he'd ask, but of course I would. Let's put it this way: I've had enough. I've had some folks already ask me some pretty moving things about their last matches or matches they've wanted, and again, I've given all of them some thought. But again, to your point earlier about I've got a great body of work. I want to keep that body of work, and I just feel like I left on as close to a perfect situation as you can, and I always just want to make sure that I honor that and take care of that. So certainly I'd consider it because he's my buddy. I'd do anything for my buddy, and so it'd be something that we'd certainly discuss. But I think he'd understand if I turned it down.
Right. I can respect that. As our time here comes to an end, Shawn, I have a very funny story to tell you on a personal note to close this out. we have to rewind it back to August 12th, 2013. That was your return to an episode of Monday Night Raw. That night, I must admit, I was quite surprised to see you with a full, really thick beard. And as a result of that, I took to Twitter to offer my thoughts, and to my surprise, you replied back, and direct quote, "But Lee, if I don't care, why should you?" I never thought in my wildest dreams that almost 2 years later, I'd be getting the opportunity to speak with one of my wrestling idols, as I grew up watching you at the age of 8 back in 1988. So folks, I'm giving away my age here. And I just got to tell you, Shawn, it was such an honor and privilege to talk with you here today and talk about your new book, Wrestling for My Life. And folks, please make sure that you check out this new book, which is available now. Shawn, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you for having me, and appreciate your understanding on the beard.
Shawn Michaels, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been the RCWR Show. Thanks for listening. An Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive.